this is a case where you pay a lawyer, he's a lawyer, and they call it a legal expense. That's the exact term they used, legal expense, in the books.
A terrified Donald Trump spoke before and after the first real day of his first of 4 criminal trials. And this guy is terrified, my friends. Trump is terrified about the possibility of spending the rest of his life in prison. And he dissembled as he was going into and coming out of court, attacking everyone, including, by the way, violating the gag order, not the gag order where his putrid flatulence is reportedly making his attorneys gag. I'm talking about the real gag order. Let's look at this piece by piece. Here is Trump saying, Letitia James is the worst attorney general in the country.
So on the Letitia James case, she's the worst attorney general in the country, by the way. On Letitia, and she keeps a lot of business out of New York, and businesses that are here are leaving. And that means jobs and a lot of revenue. Somebody's going to step in, the governor, somebody has to step in and do something because your businesses are fleeing. But on Letitia James, the money was put up, it's $175 million. And I don't think she's complaining about me for the first time ever. She's complaining about the company. But why would she be doing that when I put up the money? So I just want you to know that that's taking...
Okay, so Trump attacking Letitia James, Trump then coming out of court and essentially once again confirming that he did the thing for which he's being tried, talking about what this is all about. And this sounds like a crime. I mean, again, Trump is insisting he did the thing. It's simply not a crime. But we know what the law says, and it pretty clearly does seem to be a crime.
It was just at the last minute they decided to do it. It's a case that, if you're looking back, it goes back many, many years, 2015, maybe before that. And it's a case as to bookkeeping, which is a very minor thing in terms of the law, in terms of all the violent crime that's going on outside as we speak, right outside as we speak. But this is a case where you pay a lawyer, he's a lawyer, and they call it a legal expense. That's the exact term they used, legal expense,
right,
in the books.
The problem is that was a lie, and it was a form of election interference, is what the prosecutors are arguing.
And another thing that wasn't even said was we never even deducted it as a tax deduction. So that takes a whole vast, most people want to deduct everything. We never even took it as a tax deduction.
And it is important to mention that the fact that he did not deduct it is not exculpatory. It says nothing about the alleged criminal nature of it.
But they called the payment to a lawyer a legal expense in the books. They didn't call it construction. They didn't say you're building a building. It called a payment to a lawyer because, as you know, Cohn is a lawyer, represented a lot of people over the years. Now, I'm not the only one. And wasn't very good in a lot of ways in terms of his representation. But he represented a lot.
This is yet another incriminating statement from Trump. Every time he does this, he confirms many of the facts of the case. His lawyers will argue that there's no crime. It will ultimately be up to the jury to decide, here's the law, here's the facts. Does it overlap with a crime? Trump also insisting that he must be allowed to campaign. And Trump says people come to him in the court and say, sir, I just can't believe it. It's another one of these, they're coming up to me with tears in their eyes sorts of moments. I can't imagine anyone is coming up to him in court and saying this.
Very unfair. The judge is conflicted, as you know. It's very unfair what's going on. And I should be allowed to campaign. And whoever heard of this, he got indicted for that? People in the court just said to me, I can't believe it. This is the case.
Yeah. They came up to big, strong guys, court officers. The bailiff came up to me and said, sir, I've never had to flush. I'm sorry, sir, they've never treated anyone so unfairly as they've treated you. Imaginary conversations that didn't take place. And then lastly, a little bit of the color. As Trump walks away, a number of questions yelled at Trump, one of which is, where's Melania? Which is a fair question, by the way.
Mr. Trump, what was it like hearing the Access Hollywood tape? Are you worried about Stormy Daniels testifying against you?
Where's Melania?
Okay. And where's Melania? And Melania wanting nothing to do with this, nothing whatsoever. Melania is long gone from any of this. They haven't renegotiated the prenup strongly enough for her to show up in court alongside Trump. That's for damn sure. Now, let's get to the critical part of this explosion from Trump, violation of the gag order. One of our sponsors today is Cook Unity, the first chef-to-you service delivering locally sourced meals from award-winning chefs right to your door every week, and it's cheaper than other meal delivery options. With Cook Unity, there is no cooking required for a chef-quality dining experience right at home. Unlike other meal services, Cook Unity is a chef collective made up of some of the best chefs in the country, bringing creative, delicious meals right to your door. Every meal handcrafted by chefs in local micro kitchens, not these massive production facilities. I recently had the caramelized mushroom quesadilla. Delicious, and the food arrives fresh, never frozen, in packaging that keeps meals fresh in the fridge up to 7 days. All of the Cook Unity packaging is compostable, recyclable, or reusable. You can pick as few as 4 or as many as 16 meals a week. There are hundreds of dishes to choose from, and the menu is constantly updated. They have 7 different dietary preferences you can pick from, including vegan, pescatarian, gluten-free, and others. Go to cookunity.com/Pacman. Use the code Pacman before checkout for 50% off your first week. The link is down below.